Hi guys, I'm Mrs. West, and today I'm going to be showing you guys how to do our ESA charts, which are a super fun way and easy way to do our problem solving models. And we'll get into what ESA means later, but for right now, that's kind of what it looks like. ISA is our ESA. So we use our part whole model, which is what you used in second grade in a strip diagram. So if you have a part and a part, but not a whole, you know that it's going to be addition, okay? On the other hand, if you have a whole, and a part, but not the other part, you're going to be subtracting. Okay, and so those will kind of help you when you're looking at your models at home. All right, another one we talk about in third grade is comparing how many more or how many less, okay? And comparing does not mean taking away, so it sometimes gets confusing, but we say this rhyme. It goes, how many more, how many less, subtract to compare, don't just guess. And so it looks a little different, okay? And so whenever you see how many more, how many less, you know you're going to be subtracting, okay? It looks a little different. You're going to have two different bars. You're going to have a part and a part, and you're going to put the smaller number in the smaller box and the bigger number in the bigger box, okay? And then we're comparing them, so we don't really know what the difference is, and so that's our comparing, okay? And then, so ESA stands for illustrate, solve, and answer. And so you're going to kind of get to see what that looks like in a second. We're going to use last week's paper. So if you wanted to get that real fast, if you still have it, you can pause whenever you would like, or you can just watch. And then next time you'll know what to do. We're doing 4, 5, and 6. Okay, so we're going to start with number 4. Okay, and I've already kind of set it up for you with your ESA and your model and your plus and minus, so that's how you'll set it up, okay? Our question is, Marcia collected 13 tomatoes from her garden. Marcia gave her friend Emily 5 tomatoes. How many tomatoes did Marcia have left? So when you have a part and that's 13, and we know that Marcia gave her friend 5, so we're taking some away. So we have a whole, which is 13, because she starts with 13, and then she gives 5 away, so that's one of our parts. So we don't know what the other part is. We don't know how many she has left. So when we have the bigger number on a whole and a part, by a little cheat sheet here, we know that it's going to be subtracting. So we're going to circle the minus sign in our solve box. Okay, and then there's a couple extra steps, but I promise they'll help. We're going to write it out. So we're going to write subtract. And we're going to make sure the bigger number comes first, 13 and 5. And the reason we put the bigger number is because in third grade math, we always start with the bigger number when we subtract. Okay, so it'll be 13 and 5. Then you're going to write it up and down, not side to side. Okay, we always write them up and down, especially for those trickier problems. It's just good practice. So 13 minus 5 equals 8. So we have our answer, but now we're going to turn it into a sentence. All right, so our question was, how many tomatoes did Marcia have left? So we're going to kind of use that as a conversation. So it'd be like if I asked you, hey, how many tomatoes did Marcia have left? And you could respond with, she had 8 tomatoes left. And so we would write that whole sentence out, and it's just good practice for if we have any multiple choice problems like that. All right, let's try another one. This one's a little different. So as you can see, this is probably going to be a comparing problem, okay? So I've already set it up for you again, and let's read our question. So we have the how many more, which already puts us in the comparing. And so we are going to read the question. And so she picked 16 zucchinis. Emily picked 9, so 16 is the bigger number, so it's going to go on the bottom, and the smaller goes on the top. How many more zucchinis did Marcia pick than Emily? So our comparing, we don't know. But we do know that because it says how many more, we're going to subtract. Okay, so we're going to write that out again. Subtract 16 and 9, and the 16 comes first because it's the bigger number and we're subtracting. All right, we're going to write it up and down, 16 minus 9, and then we're going to do our math, which gives us 7, and we're going to put that in an answer. So the question was, how many more zucchinis did Marcia pick than Emily? Our answer would be, Marcia picked 7 more zucchinis than Emily. And we really want to make sure that it sounds like an answer to our question, okay? So when they ask, how many more zucchinis did Marcia pick than Emily? You would say, well, Marcia picked 7 more zucchinis than Emily, right? And then this is going to be our last one for the day. So Emily bought 7, we have our model going. So Emily bought 7 onions at the farmer's market. Marcia bought 8 onions at the farmer's market. How many onions did the 2 girls buy together? So we have a part which is 7 and a part which is 8, but we don't know the whole. So we're going to look at our little cheat sheet real fast. And it looks like we have a part and a part, but not a whole, which means we're going to be adding this time. So in my solve, I'm going to circle the plus sign, and I'm going to write the sentence out. I'm going to add 7 and 8. And it doesn't really matter which order it goes in when we're adding because you'll get the same thing either way. 7 plus 8 is the same thing as 8 plus 7. So I'm going to write it up and down, 7 plus 8. And that should give me 15. Then I'm going to look at my question, which was, how many onions did the 2 girls buy together? And so I would form that into an answer, a word answer, and say, well, they bought 15 onions altogether. All right, and I really hope that helps you guys. That's our ESA chart. So if you ever see the little T, upside down T, that means we're going to be using an ESA chart. If you have any questions, contact your teacher. Bye.